Hello everyone and welcome back to our ingredient series. Next up we have heavy cream. We use cream for a lot of recipes including creme brulee, which we're going to make later, and chocolate ganache, chocolate mousse, fruit mousse, and obviously whipped cream and so on and so forth. One of the things that surprised me after moving to the US from France is that there are things that I prefer about American heavy cream and things that I don't like. Let's take a look at all these three products that I've gathered here because they're quite representative of what you might find in stores. These are, I think they're nationwide brands, but I'll explain to you what I'm looking for when I buy heavy cream. Let's start with this one first because these two are from the same company. Apart from the cap here, the spout, like, can you tell the difference? It's not very obvious from the packaging, but these two products are very, very different. Again, except for the cap. So the main difference here is, and the way I recognize them is, one is pasteurized and the other one is ultra pasteurized. And you might think, well, ultra pasteurized is better, right? Because this one is, let's say, it's going to expire in a few weeks, and this one is good until end of January next year. But unfortunately, they're a big trade-off to a longer shelf life here. So let's take a look at the ingredients first. This one, which is the pasteurized one, which I prefer. Ingredients: organic grade A cream. Period. That's it. All right, let's take a look at this one. Organic grade A cream and gel and gum. All right, so there's something else going on here. Let's take a look at this one. Heavy cream, a bunch of things I can't pronounce, and this one, carrageenan, and some additional stuff. So what are, and this one, by the way, this one is ultra pasteurized as well. So what is the purpose specifically of carrageenan and gel and gum? These are what are called stabilizers or thickeners that are used for a couple of reasons. When we're going to open this for creme brulee, you're going to see that some of the fat solids, the cream, actually goes all the way to the top and sticks to the side of the carton. So if you just open this and then pour a little bit of cream in a bowl for whipping cream, you're actually not getting heavy cream because you're missing some of that fat content because it's not a stable emulsion. They add gel and gum to these products, and this is why you can pour it, because it makes sure that the fat solids actually stay suspended in the milk, and so you have like a stable emulsion. But unfortunately, like this is the gel and gum is a component like similar to agar. Agar, it's made from a plant, and it's a thickener. And it gives your cream, although it's more stable, like from an emulsion perspective, but when you make things with it, it gets more gelatinous. And so this one I don't like from a texture perspective, but this one, in my opinion, is even worse because I don't like it from like both the texture and a flavor perspective. Carrageenan is also another thickening agent made from seaweed, similar to agar. And these products, these chemicals are added not only to like stabilize the emulsion, but also supposedly to make it easier to whip. That's why they're called like heavy whipping cream. Because a lot of problems have sometimes like trouble whipping and so on and so forth. So these are what we call stabilizers. It'll prevent your whipping cream from like collapsing and so on and so forth. But I would much rather start with a more natural product and show you how to whip cream properly. We'll have a video on that. And just basically have less crap in my food. So gel and gum, as I mentioned, is a typical thickener. Like, it's a vegan alternative to gelatin. In Europe, it is known as additive E418. And this one, carrageenan, again, it's an emulsifier and thickener and gelling agent known as E407. And although this, like, gel and gum is made from like a lily plant, and this is made from seaweed, so you could argue that these are like natural products, but like agar or gelatin. But in my opinion, you don't need all that. When you want whipped cream or you make a mousse, like you don't need to buy something that's going to last 3 months. Like, what's the point? Just buy it when you need it, and that's it. So I don't know, like, I'm here in the Pacific Northwest, so these are things that I picked out in our supermarkets. But depending on where you are, just look at the ingredients and make sure that it's only organic grade A cream. And oh yeah, I forgot one thing. I started with the things that I did not like about those cream, but one thing I do like, though, that is very different from cream you can find in French supermarkets. There are different types of cream by fat content, obviously. You have like the light cream in France that you call here half and half, basically half milk, half cream. They usually have a fat percentage of like between 12 and 18. And then you have your heavy creams. In France, in most supermarket, what I don't like is the heavy creams are at the most have about like 30% fat. And you need really to get professional level cream, and I'm going to put a picture here, like Elevir or President, that are special for chefs to go all the way up to 35, which is the kind of the sweet spot in terms of creamy texture. Whereas I found that here in the US, 35 is kind of the standard, and you don't have to get professional level ingredients to get that. You even get, I think Darigold has a 40% whipping cream, and I think I took a picture, I'll put it right there, which I do not recommend as well. It's very hard to work with. It's way too much fat, in my opinion. If you whip it too much, you're going to turn it into butter. And even if you work it well, let's say if you make creme brulee with a cream that is like 40% fat, it's going to leave like a weird aftertaste or film on your palate after you eat that 40% fat creme brulee. I mean, creme brulee are made from egg yolks and heavy cream. Like, it's fat enough. You don't need 40% heavy cream. 35 is a sweet spot. 30 is a little bit too quote unquote light. 40 is too much. 35 is a sweet spot. 35, 36. But again, I would not recommend any of those heavy cream with added thickeners and stabilizers. You really don't need that if you know what you're doing. Oh, and one thing I forgot. I mentioned that some of these stabilizers are used to stabilize like whipped cream. But if you make a ganache or if you make creme brulee, you're not actually whipping it, right? So there's no need to stabilize anything. Just open everything, shake it well to make sure that you get all the fat solids that are in the carton. Just open it up completely. And that's it. Just melt it in a pan and you're good to go. One ingredient, that's all you need. Organic grade A milk. Thank you.